Hey folks, how you doing? Mr. Carter here, ready to do math lesson 4-1 extended multiplication facts. Okay, here we go. So our learning target is I understand how to develop a rule for multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands. That's our target for today. Here's our math message, folks. It says Lacey has 40 bottle caps. Donovan has 20 times as many bottle caps as Lacey. How many bottle caps does Donovan have? Well, here we go. So take a minute, try to figure that out on your own, see what kind of strategies you have to solve that problem. So here we go again. Lacey has 40 bottle caps. Donovan has 20 times as many bottle caps as Lacey. How many bottle caps does she have, or Donovan have? Okay. So pause the video, try to figure that problem out. Okay, welcome back. So the answer, as you may have figured out, is 800 bottle caps. Well, how did you figure that out? So some of you may have drawn a picture and you did 40 bottle caps for Lacey, and then Donovan has 20. Well, you had 20 bottle caps, or you could have simply added 40 plus 40, 40, 40, 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40. Oh my goodness, plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40, many, 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 many times. But wait, that is a lot of work. Yes, so we're going to multiply, as you can figure out. And you could have used the word times as a clue there to help you figure out that you could have multiplied this, but 40 times 20, yikes, those are big numbers. So we're going to, let me move this here, maybe. All right, so let's get ready to do some math. So we are, as our target said, going to develop a rule for extended multiplication facts. And a problem like that, 40 times 20, is an extended multiplication fact type of problem. What I would like you to do is go to page 105 in your math journal. If you don't have your math journal, just pause the video and find your math journal. We're going to do a couple problems together, then I'm going to have you do the rest of the sheet by yourself. So let's take a look. So here's that problem up at the top. You have an example problem here. It says write a multiplication fact for each fact triangle. Here's your fact triangle. And then extend the fact by changing the first factor to a multiple of 10 and then to a multiple of 100. So if you look here, folks, our original fact is 2 times 3. Yeah, and when you see that little star, that tells you to multiply. So here, according to our fact triangle, 2 times 3, and the answer here with the dot is 6. Right, so 2 times 3 is 6. Well, we're going to extend that fact, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So I have my friend here, Oprah, who's going to give out zeros to everybody. You get a 0, you get a 0, you get a 0. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. So in the first extended fact problem, you have 20 here. Well, we're going to write our original problem. So we're going to go, the original fact is 2 times 3. And we're just going to put the answer here, 6. But you have 1 0 here. That means that you got to put the 0 over here in the answer. So the answer, when you go extend it by a multiple of 10, 20 times 3 is 60. So you get a 0, you get a 0, right? So let's look at how we can extend it by 100. So we have 200 here times 3. So again, we're going to start with our original fact, which is 2 times 3. We're going to ignore those zeros for a second. So 2 times 3 is 6. We'll take a look. You have 2 zeros here. That means you got to put 2 zeros in your answer. 1, 2. So the answer to 200 times 3 is 600. So again, you get a 0, you get a 0, right? Let's look at number 1. We'll do this one together. Our original fact is 6 times 8. And again, if you see that star, that means multiply. And it's 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 8, 48. So now we're going to extend that by a multiple of 10. So we're going to just write our original fact for now. 6 times 8 equals 48. So we're just copying that from here. 6 times 8 equals 48. Now we're going to extend it by a multiple of 10. So we're going to make 6 as 60 by putting a 0 right there. So now that's 60. So if we have 1 0 over here, guess what? We need to put a 0 in our answer. So our answer now to 60 times 8 is 480. Now we're going to extend it down here by a multiple of 100. So we're going to start again with our original fact. 6 times 8 equals 48. But then we're going to put this thing in the way here. Let's put that down here. So we're going to put 2 zeros here to make that 600, or we're going to extend that to make it a multiple of 100, times 8 equals, and now we got to put 2 zeros in our answer to make it 4,800. Let's do one more problem together. Again, don't forget, we have our original fact here. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 7 is 28. Don't forget our friend Oprah. You get a 0. You get a 0. So we're going to go 4 times 7. We're going to write that original fact equals 28. There you go. You get a 0. You get a 0. So again, when you put 1 0 on the as a factor, you got to add it to your answer. Here we go. 4 times 7 equals 28. You get 2 zeros, and you get 2 zeros. So now, again, when you extend it and make it a multiple of 100, you got to put 2 zeros here. All right, so now your turn. I want you to pause the video and finish the rest of page 105 in your math journal, and then we're going to go over the answers together as a group. Okay, welcome back. Question 3. The original fact is 8 times 9 is 72. Then to extend it by a multiple of 10, you're going to go 80 times 9, make it 720. Extended by a multiple of 100, 800 times 9, 7,200. All right, friends. 4. What rule can you use to multiply ones such as 30 times 6? Well, here's a sample answer. So here's the rule. Use the original fact, which is 3 times 8 equals 18. I'm sorry, 3 times 6 is 18. And then attach 1 0 to the end of the product to make it 180, right? That's a rule. Here we go. What rule down here can you use to multiply by hundreds, such as 300 times 6? Well, again, use the original fact. 3 times 6 equals 18. And then you're going to attach 2 zeros to the end of the product when you're multiplying by hundreds. This, my friends, is our learning target when we come up with a rule. So again, it's just attaching how many zeros you have in your the first part of the problem to your answer. That's our rule. Pretty simple. Okay, now we're going to go to page 106 in your math journal. We're going to do one example together, then we're going to do the rest of the page. So let's look at the example up at the top. You can extend a multiplication fact by making both factors multiples of 10. Wait, really? Yes, it's true. You can add zeros to whatever number on the side. Take a look here. We have our original fact. 3 times 5 is 15, right? So we have 1 0 here. We have 1 0 here. So 1 0 and 1 0 is going to make 2 zeros over here. Same idea, my friends. You just got to count your zeros on the problem side, and then you're going to add the same amount of zeros to your answer. Whoa, mind blown. Yes, it's true. All right, so now pause the video again and do the rest of page 106 in your math journal, and then we'll go over it together. Okay, welcome back. So yeah, question 1. 4 times 6 is our original fact equals 24. 4 times 6, 24. To extend it by multiples of 10 on each side would have been 40 times 60 equals 2,400. By the way, these are sample answers. You could have went 400 times 60, and then you could have had how many zeros there? That would have been 3 zeros, right? So you could have had fun with this. Don't forget, the same amount of zeros in the problem is what you're going to need to have in your answer. 8 times 2 equals 16. That's our original fact. So you could have extended it again by going 80 times 20 equals 1,600. All right, you can check your work on the rest of them. I don't want to take too much more time on our video, but you take a look. And again, these are all sample answers. But what I want to have you look at is this rule down here. What rule can you use to multiply 10 by 10, such as 40 times 60? Well, again, solve the basic fact, which in this case would have been 4 times 6 equals 24, and then attach 2 zeros to the answer. 40 times 60 equals 2,400. All right, friends, that is it for today's lesson. If you have questions, come see me or your teacher, and hope this was helpful. Take care.